Morning, everybody. Your assignment today is going to be a challenging one, but I know you were up to it. Today, algebra meets geometry. So last week you completed a couple of Khan Academy assignments on supplementary and complementary angles. So I'm hoping that today you're going to bring that knowledge with you so that you can write an algebraic equation to help you solve a problem. So for example, number 7, the first question. It says, letter A, two angles are both congruent and supplementary. So your first task is, in each of these problems, I want you to write an equation. As you can see in the directions, it says write and solve an equation. That is a huge part of our curriculum this year in 7th grade. A big goal that you need to have ready for you for next year. So here we go. It says two angles. All right, so here's an angle and here's an angle. And it says both are congruent. This word right here, congruent, tells me that they are equal or they are the same. So if I call angle 1 x, that means angle 2 has to also be x. And it says that both of these are not only congruent, but they're also supplementary. So here's our second vocabulary word. And this is a word from last week that you are expected to know now. Supplementary means two angles or more. I can have more than two angles, but in this case it just tells me two. So two angles that add up to 180 degrees. So there's my equation. Again, it says two angles. So here are my two angles, angle 1, angle 2. They're congruent, so that means they're the same. I don't know what they are, so we're going to label them both x because they're the same. And we know that they are supplementary, so that means they have to add up to 180 degrees. So now I've accomplished my writing of the equation. Now the next part is I got to solve this thing. Now this should be the easy part. This is the algebra. So little thing, first step. I see that I have like terms here, so I'm going to combine like terms. So if I have 1x plus another x, that gives me 2x. And I'm going to bring down the equals 180. And my next step, I want to get this x by itself. I want to isolate the variable, so I have to get rid of this times 2. And to get rid of something, I do very good, the opposite. So the opposite of times 2, I'm going to divide both sides by 2. And if we look over here, 2 divided by 2, that is 1. 1 times x gives me my x is now isolated equals 180 divided by 2 gives me 90 degrees. And bam, there it is. Okay, so if this angle 1 is 90 degrees, this angle is also 90 degrees. If I add them together, they will equal 180. All right. Let's try one more. Letter B. This time it says two angles are both congruent, and this time they're complementary. So it looks like it's going to be the same setup. So I have two angles, again, that I'm going to add together. But this time, instead of them being supplementary, meaning they add up to 180, this time it says complementary, another big vocabulary word from last week that you're expected to know. And that means that they add up to not 180, but 90. So now I have two angles, and again, look at, they're both congruent, so they're equal. So if I say angle 1 is x, that means angle 2 is also x. Okay, and I'm confident you can take it from there. So in each of these problems, number 7, A, B, C, and then you're going to keep on going into, let me bring this up over here. You're going to keep going into number letter D, E, F, and then to number 8. Okay. Which in number 8, real quick little tidbit, it says, notice right here, this little right square on the corner of this angle. This tells me that this whole angle is 90 degrees. So angle WXY, this big thing right here, is 90 degrees. And then notice this ray right here splits it into two angles. So I have ZXY, I have this angle, and I have WXZ, I have this angle right here. And oh, look at that, they tell me that this is 67 degrees here. I'm looking for this angle. Well, remember in the beginning of this, I said that this whole thing is 90 degrees. So that means this angle plus this angle has to add up to 90 degrees. So see if you can figure out how to write an equation for that and then solve it. So, again, I know these are going to challenge you, and that's okay. You can be frustrated, you can be confused. But again, that's how our brain gets stronger. It's a muscle, and we got to make it stronger. And so, if we simply lift 2 pound dumbbells all day, we're not going to get as strong as if we take that 25-pound dumbbell and we try as hard as we can to lift it and we try again, try again. And that's what I want you to do here. Here are the 25-pounders. That's what we're going for today. You have 2 days, so you have today and tomorrow. This is due Wednesday to go at this thing. Okay, and I want to see by Wednesday that you've given an honest effort. And Wednesday, I'm going to give you more help and more of an explanation on these. But this, ladies and gentlemen, is where we are headed right now. Geometry is meeting algebra, and it's getting scary. Have a great day, everybody. We'll talk soon.